Good evening! Welcome back to another Kneejerk stream, heading into Game Week 36 plus. Game Week 35, not quite over yet, but it will be tomorrow when Man United beat Southampton. At least I hope so. Bournemouth beating Leicester tonight, absolutely crazy. Nobody predicted that. I certainly didn't. I expected Vardy to get a hatful of goals, only got one, and even that was gifted to him, to be fair, and they tried to give him another one. So yeah, not good. Not good for FPL. Unless you didn't own Vardy. Great for the league, though. Man United potentially could now get third spot tomorrow if they win. So let's see what happens. I've had a pretty good week. Most of you know that already. I'm not going to talk about it too much. Well, I will talk about my team a lot, you know, but that's no different to normal, right? But I promise it won't all be about Mikel Antonio. The Antonio, right? The Antonio shirt is not on the walls because I don't do the stuff for the wall because I'm awful, basically, at graphic stuff. So you need to, because you'll be able to see this afterwards, you need to all say in the chat, we need the Antonio shirt, please, Marco. Right? So I'll write in, we need the Antonio shirt, please, Marco. Boom. There we go. We need that shirt. I think he has to go up. 4 goals is absolutely ridiculous. Let's bring... How are we all anyway before we get into that? Jesus start or bench next week. Oh, it's so hard. Will we see the false 9? We've only seen it once when he hasn't had a knock or not been in the squad at all. I think there's a chance he starts, but I don't know. Am I confident enough to captain him? Probably not. Let's see. The Antonio shirt will come up there eventually, but I need Marco to do it. So we need to rally around, get Marco to do it. I'm sure he'll do it once he's got time, to be fair. But he will do it. He will do it. Everyone spam the chat. He'll see this later. I'm sure he'll watch this stream back. Vardy is down to 1 bonus. Yeah, that's what it looks like is going to happen. Vardy 1. The fact, honestly, Jimenez outscoring Vardy is almost as good as Antonio, to be honest. So I really did consider making that transfer. And obviously got lucky. I mean, to be fair, both players got lucky. Jimenez got lucky. It was a penalty. Didn't really have many other chances. Vardy got lucky that Bournemouth couldn't defend. So it didn't really matter. Adding dates to the shirts could be a nice touch. Good to remember where they came from. That's a good idea, yeah. That is a good idea. Antonio's shirt with a... Sterling doesn't get on the wall. They only get on the wall if they help me. But I do think maybe... We should have like a Let's Talk FPL Legend shirt wall. So when it helps, when it's good for me, then we should also have just a general FPL hero wall. Marco's hating the sound of this. And also FPL like hatred wall. Hatred's probably a bit too far, but you know what I mean. Ben Foster, for example, will be on that wall. Hatred's a bit harsh, but you know what I mean. Jesus. I mean, like Antonio's great. Vardy getting less than Jimenez, great. Jesus, fantastic. Everyone hates Jesus, but he's so good. He is so good. How's Money Heist? Gave up about 20 minutes in. I might go back to it at some point. You were so salty when Vardy returned. I wasn't salty. He was lucky. He got lucky. So did Jimenez. Anyway, let's bring the team up. I mean, to be fair, this doesn't even feel that special given that so many people... It feels like the whole world has captained Wall of Shame. Yeah, I actually had that idea ages ago, but I just never got around to do it because I just can't design stuff like Marco can. So here's the team. It doesn't look quite as good as everyone that's got Sterling captain, but it's still very, very good, especially considering my captain hasn't played just yet. Fernandes, of course. It's going to be so nice watching Man United not worrying about who scores because it's green arrows all the way, pretty much. The only thing that can really not kill this game week, but make it not as good tomorrow is Ings to score in a 1-0 win. That would remove the icing from the cake, which has been baking all weekend since Antonio. The amount of chances Jesus misses, it doesn't matter as long as he puts the ball in the net eventually. I've got some stats to talk about for Jesus. Like, he's such a good option, honestly. And he's kind of shown that as well. What did he get? 2 assists in the last game, 1 goal. Another day he could have had another couple of goals. Like his, if you go to Fantasy Football Scout in the members area, right, if you go to expected for this whole season and filter it by per 90, his expected goal involvement per 90 is 0.9. So for every 90 minutes he plays, he's pretty much almost certain to at least have a chance or create a chance. So 0.9 is so high. To put it in perspective, Aguero is the only kind of regular starter that's higher at 1.01. That's Jesus for the whole season. He's getting a return every 88 minutes so far this season. What's not to like? They play Bournemouth next. You've spoken about Man U will still disappoint tomorrow. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Any vent towards Foster? Foster doesn't feel so bad when Pope doesn't get a clean sheet. And to be fair, let me really quickly show you. I don't have to play him next week, so it kind of makes me a little bit happy. Pope didn't get a clean sheet, and I don't have to play him next week, so I'm just going to play McCarthy instead. So, plus I can't really spend the time being annoyed at Foster when like everything else has gone so well. Shame I didn't play Egan instead of Trent, but yeah, it is what it is. I was never really going to do that. XG means nothing. That is not true. How can it mean nothing, you know? What it means is Jesus is a great option, as he's showing right now. What 3 City assets would you want? I mean, it's hard to answer that without Kneejerk. And thanks very much, by the way, William. Jesus, I still think Jesus. I think he's going to get enough minutes to warrant a place. The question really is, do you go De Bruyne or Sterling? Which, for me, it's like 2 of De Bruyne, Mahrez, and Sterling still. Like De Bruyne, how unlucky can you be where he gets 1 assist for the last 9 goals? That's just incredibly unlucky, really. But Sterling's in such good goal scoring form, and he's looked good since the restart. Mahrez, another frustrating one. He should have had more points against Brighton. I'd probably go Jesus and Sterling, and then one of Mahrez or De Bruyne, I think. I don't think I've suddenly come off De Bruyne enough, so I'd probably drop Mahrez if I could, or if I could just choose again. But I'm pretty happy with the 3 I've got personally. But that's what I'd go for, I'd say. Vinay, thanks very much. Need a defender for 36-38. Oh my god, 5.5 million. 36 and 38. I mean, who's got good fixtures? I'm going to have to do this quick, so obviously I'm not really giving too much thought. I mean, Chelsea defender, if they start, they got Wolves on the last day, not really scoring too much. Man City defender, you could go for one of them. But the only problem is, will they definitely start? I'd actually avoid Man City, forget about that. Actually, 5.5. You haven't got enough for Lucas Digne then. That's a bit frustrating. I don't know. Leicester got Man United. It's pretty tricky to find a player that's got a good fixture in 36 and 38 from a defensive point of view. I'm just looking here now for 5.5 million as well. In fact, you can't even go for the Chelsea boys. They're too expensive as well. Yeah, it's not. To be honest, it's not looking good. Southampton maybe. You go for a Southampton defender. Not that exciting. Aurier got Newcastle and Crystal Palace. Yeah, Aurier might be the best option. Although, I don't know, Spurs right now not great. But yeah, Aurier or Southampton defender if you want to go completely different. Thanks very much. Congrats on the best players to consider on a free hit next game week. I mean, next week you've really got to keep an eye out for team news. Like triple Chelsea could be good. Norwich down and out now. The only thing we're going, by the way, only for that previous super chat, the only problem we're going with a Chelsea player is they play Wolves last day. It's not ideal. Could be okay. Not ideal though. Yeah, players on a free. I mean, Chelsea, Pulisic is obvious if he starts. Giroud is a punt if he starts. All I'll say for the free hit is do not get too wrapped up in going for players, like getting rid of players you already own, like just to be different. Like Crystal Palace conceding plenty of goals. I would not want to be out without kind of 2 Man United players probably. So I'd probably look at like Pulisic, maybe Willian if he starts as well, maybe Giroud, maybe a defender. So three Chelsea basically. I'd probably go Fernandes plus at least one more attacker for Man United. Even Salah and Mane could do well against Arsenal, but I guess 3 Man City as well. So that's already like what, 3 City, 3 Chelsea, 6, couple from Man. That's already 9. I think if I was going for City players, I'd maybe punt on. I don't know. It's hard to find. It's hard to figure out who's going to start. But you've got to think that Foden and David Silva have got a good chance. If you really wanted to go for it, you could go David Silva, Foden, and maybe Jesus. But you're obviously missing big hitters like Sterling. I would probably go Jesus, Sterling, and one of David Silva or Foden, I think. Leicester defence against Sheffield United, even though they just put 3 next to against Chelsea. That's a bit more of a difficult call. Gameweek 36 plus bench boost with 3 United, 3 City, 3 United, and Pulisic. Yeah, that sounds good to me. Best players are the ones I've said really. Fernandes, one more Man United attacker. I still like Martial, but let's see what happens tomorrow. Greenwood's a good option too if you need to save some money. Sterling, Jesus, +1 from Man City. Pulisic for sure if he starts. But you've got Tarkowski could be good from Burnley. If you think Wolves are going to get shut out again. I mean, Wolves did score a few goals today, but Everton were awful. So be careful about that. Game 35, Antonio, less than 5%, top 100k. Sterling, captain, 5% active. Yeah, that was huge. Thanks for that, Matthew. That was huge ranks. I mean, some people had both, like absolutely insane. Some people bought both in this week. That's even more insane. Captaincy, I'm finding. By the way, let's talk about. Have I got this whole way about talking about Antonio yet? I think that's quite impressive for me. Yeah, because usually I would talk about it a lot. I don't know, for anyone that didn't watch the game, like 4 goals. Obviously, 4 goals is crazy, and it's not. It doesn't happen very often. But it wasn't even a surprise watching the game. Like I was on Instagram on stories. By the way, follow me on Instagram if you don't already. I'll put the link in the chat. Let's get those followers up on Instagram. It's just Let's Talk FPL. And I was saying, like, he's got a brace, which is ridiculous, but I was like, there's more here. Like, there's more returns here. He should have already had more returns by the time he got that second goal. And then he got the hat-trick. And I was like, that's great, but do you know what? There's probably more in this. And Norwich were just so bad. And it was Souček and Bowen. Like, if you were a Bowen owner, I don't know how you didn't get points in that game. It really, really sucks. Like, really, really sucks. Especially if you went Bowen instead of Antonio. Like, that must be such a killer. But yeah, like obviously just right position, right time on some of the corners and stuff, but he could have had more points, assists as well. Like Souček, I think he tried to side foot. I think it went over the bar just to the right of the post. It was crazy. And the thing with Antonio is, like, you can say it's lucky, but he has 7 returns since the restart, 6 goals. And obviously, again, 4 points is lucky, of course, but overall, 6 goals, 1 assist. And his expected goal involvement is 7.51. He's getting chances. He's creating chances. He's been doing it since the restart. So it's absolutely insane. It's Watford next. We know he's playing Ben Foster. That's a guaranteed non-clean sheet. Man United game's a bit trickier. And then it's Aston Villa on the last day of the season, which could be huge. That could be, relegation fight. Like, that could be a decider potentially, I think, given how the points are going right now. Norwich just can't defend, which is why they went down. We should be targeting them as the early fixture. Every game until the season end. Yeah, absolutely. The fixtures aren't great, though. Like, what I mean is they're not great from an FPL point of view. So Chelsea is good, but then it's Burnley. Who's going to bring in a Burnley attacker for that? And then last day of the season is Man City, which we already own anyway. So this is the week. Let me bring up my team for next week. Basically, the long and the short of the Antonio thing is, a lot of people are going to say now, you should be looking for the next Antonio. He can't do it again. He's still a great option for the price. He's not going to score 4 goals against Watford, of course, but there's still points in the last 3 fixtures for him. So if you're thinking about it, he's a pretty good option. Still, I think. What was that question I just saw? Attacking Norwich. So this is my team for next week, as it stands. And I'm talking about my team because I'm going to come on to the Norwich thing in a minute. So I will probably I've got 2 free transfers now. So I'll probably do Jimenez to Danny Ings. I think that's what I'm going to do. Obviously, with 2 free transfers, I now have the option to do the Maguire-Greenwood switch, which I may still do, but I'm not 100% sure on that, to be honest. Because if I get Ings, if I get Greenwood, I don't have Ings. I do kind of want Ings. I think he's got 3 really good fixtures to end the season on. So I'm probably going to go Ings instead of Greenwood, basically, and just keep the Man United players that I've got already. And the reason I'm saying that is basically captaincy for next week. Like, I'd love to put it on Jesus, but obviously I can't guarantee he's going to start. And Bournemouth, to be fair, have only conceded 1 goal in their last 2 games. Now, how much of that was Leicester and Spurs, I don't know. Man City is a completely different animal. Like, if Man City get another early goal, that is just going to be curtains for Bournemouth. So I'm probably going to do Jimenez to Ings. So who do I captain then? Danny Ings has got Brighton at home, I think it is this week. Or is it away? No, it's at home. I've scrolled down too far. Well, that doesn't matter. So really, best captaincy. But then Crystal Palace are conceding so many goals. I might just keep on Fernandes. I guess the long and the short of it is, I feel like Pulisic's a really good captain against Norwich if he starts, and hopefully we'll find out early. But do I want to bring him in just for that one game? Because one of the reasons I got Antonio instead was because of Chelsea's fixtures. So obviously Norwich looks great, but Liverpool away, Wolves at home, they don't scream a huge amount of goals to me. They didn't put any past Sheffield United either. So I don't know. It would just be a one. Let me get back onto my team. It would just be a 1 game week punt, and then it's a bit like Vardy this week. It would have been a transfer out for Jimenez, and then it would have been a transfer back in. And it's exactly the same with Pulisic. I don't want it. Like, I know Liverpool haven't defended well. I just don't see big points. I'd rather just keep hold of Antonio, I think. So I don't know if I'm going to get Pulisic, but it will be a worry watching that game without him. Giroud is tempting if we get early team news, but it's exactly the same. It's 1 week, and then I don't want him anymore. And that's it, you know. William, thanks very much. Would you do Mahrez to David Silva? I mean, I could, and I probably won't. But I do think if you were going to try and nail 2 players to start for Man City, it's probably Foden and David Silva, right? So if you want to go for the kind of higher upside play, trying to nail who starts for Man City, David Silva's a good option. Vardy to Jesus or Ings or a punt on Giroud. So I keep saying it, Giroud and Pulisic, same thing for me. I think next fixture's good if they start. But it is the FA Cup, so if they go a few up and they haven't got points, they're probably going to get taken off early. So I don't know if that would I don't know if that would worry me too much, because they could get 3 or 4 goals before kind of 50, 60 minutes, the way the Norwich have been. So I don't know about Giroud. I mean, he's a punt, yes, but then you won't want him after that. Like, to me, I'd rather have Jesus than Ings. Ings is going to get probably 70 to 90 minutes every single game. Jesus probably not, but Jesus is playing on a side that's just scoring a ridiculous amount of goals. Like, that Southampton result was such an anomaly compared to what they've done to every other team. They just look incredible right now. I legit thought you were smoking a cigar at the start. Screen was small, and the way you were moving your head. Oh, a cigar? No. Oh my God, have you ever had a cigar? Absolutely disgusting. We need the Antonio shit. Yeah, come on, Marco. So I will go Jesus, basically. Oh, you went with Sterling captain. Nice. Yeah, I should say my rank. So, I don't know, for anyone that watched the last stream, I literally said, when people said what was my rank target, I said if I could have my rank by the end of the season, like I still wouldn't like it, but it'd be okay. So I was 320k, so 160k would have been having it. Well, I'm already on 182k now. I was actually I was on 175k before the Leicester game. When Vardy scored, it went to 185k, and then because Bournemouth took away the bonus points and took away points from the defenders by getting 4 goals, and Soyuncu got a red card, it actually went up another 3,000. Foster will get a clean sheet this week, just to really rub it in against Antonio of all people. How about Sterling triple captain against Bournemouth? Could be decent. Look, the thing is, the Man City talk for the rest of the season is going to be exactly the same unless a player gets a full rest or gets benched and comes on for the last 20-25 minutes. The chat is going to be the same every single week. Who's going to start? We don't know. Should I bring them in? Yes. But they could get benched at some point. They could have their minutes managed. Should I still get them in? Yes, Man City are going to score plenty of goals. And I don't think that's going to change. Unless something happens over the next couple of games where we think, okay, Pep's doing something a little bit different here. Like, will he risk players in Gameweek 38 ahead of the Champions League? That could be a thing. But ultimately, it's been the same since the restart, and it's the same now. You get 3 in, and you hope for the best. Like, Foden owners could probably consider themselves a little bit unlucky. Mahrez should have had more points in the last game. Jesus could have had more points in the last game. De Bruyne should have had more points in the last 2 games. Like, for De Bruyne, he had that corner. I can't remember who was it. Was it Fernandinho who headed it in? I can't remember. Oh, it was Rodri, wasn't it? We got the assist for Jesus. Jesus leaves that. It still goes in. Obviously, I'm very glad he didn't. I panicked straight away that he was offside. But on another day, De Bruyne has an assist there. So you just get 3, and you don't have to stick with them. Obviously, some people did like De Bruyne to Sterling this week, which was a huge call and worked really well. So you can use your transfers to switch around. And I may still do that. Someone asked me just a minute ago, am I definitely getting rid of Jimenez? I think I am still. I think Ings or Greenwood's probably a better option. I think one of my problems is if I do Maguire and Jimenez to Greenwood plus a defender, what defender do I go for? Like Lucas Digne, my only worry with them is one of my worries is they looked awful today, even though Digne looked really good for attacking returns. But Everton don't have much to play for. Are they just going to give up? Don't know. I know the narrative around this time of the season is always who has stuff to play for, who's on the beach. And I do think you probably take it with a pinch of salt, but it does happen with some teams. They're just not up for it. Now, that's why I said last week I quite liked Antonio, because he's got form, he's got the stats, he's got the fixtures, and he's got something to fight for. I'm not going to jump out and put Wilson and Solanke in my team, because I'd want to see a bit more from them first, and we're not going to see it really before the end of the season. But someone like Antonio, he's kind of got it all already. Only trouble with Ings is he plays Monday and Thursday. Yeah, but hasn't who said that he's going to play? Just going to keep playing him. I don't know though. I don't know. I got 2 free transfers and not really a whole. Like if I had to go into the next game week with this team, would I be that worried? Probably not, to be honest. Yeah, Aurier's an okay. Aurier probably is the one I would go for, but Spurs, man, like, what do you do about Spurs? They don't get a shot against Bournemouth, then they beat Arsenal. Yeah, I don't think I would go Everton. I'm not going McBurney. No chance. I did love the fact he scored, though. Marcus Alonso for 1 week, then bench for Egan in the last 2. Yeah, could be done. If you only had De Bruyne out of Man City and Chelsea for week 36, would you then do a free hit or take a -4? I think if you're lacking Man City... I don't know. My initial thought is just do the free hit to get the Man City and Chelsea players in. But you are going to want those Man City players for the next game as well. So maybe it's worth just taking the -4 and going for it. And then use the free hit in 38 to try and work out which Man City players are going to play. Donovan, you took out Salah for Sterling. Huge. And it was... Yeah, huge. My plan is to keep Salah out until game week 38 when I might put him back. What do you think? Yeah... I don't know about Salah. Look, non-Liverpool mid owners this week. Let's be honest, we got lucky. Nick Pope played an apps. Nick Pope was perfect this week for non-owners because he didn't keep a clean sheet, but he stopped so many points from Liverpool. Like honestly, everything, like for me at least, has gone. Everything's gone well this week so far. Jimenez outscores Vardy. Or has matched him. I don't know. I think the bonus is only 1 for Vardy. So Jimenez has outscored him. Antonio, ridiculous 4 goals. Liverpool mids didn't do anything. Pope conceded. Jesus did really well. Even Wolves got a clean sheet. Like it couldn't have gone any better. I won't have a better week for the rest of the season now. So Nick Pope, absolute blinder. I don't know. Defensively, Arsenal are doing okay. The problem is they do have a couple of defenders that on their day, which is a lot of days for them, make mistakes, and Liverpool are going to cause them some problems. And then Chelsea at home, I think that's such a good fixture for Liverpool because Chelsea they're not in trouble for top 4, especially with Leicester losing, but it's going to be tough for them with the fixtures they have left. So they're going to have to. Don't necessarily have to go for it, but they're probably going to need to win that game. So that'll suit Liverpool. So that could be... And then Newcastle. So, I don't know. It's tough to go without Salah. I mean, for me, it's very hard to get him back in without sacrificing a Man City player. And I don't really want to do that. So I'm probably going to go without. But it's going to be worrying watching Liverpool every single game. Solanke 3 bonus. Yeah, someone's already said when it updates. I've not checked. Apparently, it's on Fantasy Football Scout, I think. I've not checked it, though. Yeah, it looks like it's updated already. Solanke 55, Stanislas 2, Vardy only 1 bonus point. Absolute nightmare, he says. Super happy inside. Salah's going to get in behind the Arsenal defence. Yeah, no, absolutely, he's going to be a good option. Like, I'm not. I think you've got. Sometimes you've got to. You kind of make those decisions knowing they're still going to score. Like, you know Salah is still going to score goals. You just have to hope that your players you have instead do better. So for me, obviously it really hurt last week. Jesus got 8 points. Antonio got 2. Salah got 18. But I've gone Salah and Calvert-Lewin to Antonio and Jesus, and now I'm up on the deal. So even if Salah does well, I'll probably still pull even next week, and that's without Antonio or Jesus doing anything. So it's not just about getting rid of Salah. It's what does he let you do. For me, it let me upgrade Calvert-Lewin to Jesus, which is pretty good. Yeah, anyone that's got a question that involves getting a player out for Jesus, I'm all behind. I'm cool with that. Still hanging on to Trent, maybe. Like, what defenders are that much better for the rest of the season? It's just no defenders are really sticking out to me. Like, if I look at who's got kind of the best fixtures left for the rest of the season, so Everton, Man City, I've already got 3. Everton, Lucas Digne, look, I could go for him. Villa, Sheffield United and Bournemouth notoriously haven't been great attacks. 2 of them are playing for their Premier League survival, though, which is a bit of a worry. And Sheffield United just put 3 past Chelsea. Then Southampton defence, I've already got McCarthy. There's no way I'm doubling. Burnley defence, I've got Taylor already if I want to play him. Sheffield United defence, I've got Egan. Brighton defence, I'm not going to back them. Man United defence, I already have one of them. So I don't know what... I mean, I could get Aurier instead of Trent, but is he really that much better than Trent? I think I just stick. Basically. From what I see on like fixture tickets and stuff, the teams that have the best fixtures, I already have one of their defenders, and that's pretty much it. So I'm kind of okay. Have I got the best defender? No. Maybe Tarkowski is better than Taylor, potentially. Is Egan the best one? I don't know, but he's just scored 2 goals in 3 games. And Trent, he could get something on another day. Will Arsenal definitely score against Liverpool? They might get 1. I don't think it's going to be a huge score. Kane and Pulisic. I can only say that anyone that's still thinking about getting Harry Kane in is not watching football at the moment. Who would you get out for? Who would you get JV out for? JV. Why can't I think of who JV is? Oh, Jamie Vardy. Can't get Jesus. Isn't Jesus shit? Oh, you got 3 Man City probably. I think the 3 strikers I like right now are Jesus, Danny Ings, and Greenwood, basically. And if you can't get them, go 3-5-2. Is Antonio a must? No. Are we overlooking the relegation teams too much? Dini is an option to replace Jesus. Why are we replacing Jesus? Why? What do people not like about him? He gets points. He plays for Man City. Dini potentially an option, but Watford's fixtures are rubbish, right? He got 2 penalties. It's good to be on penalties, don't get me wrong. Like, I do target players that are on penalties, but they got Man City and Arsenal last 2 games, and West Ham up next. That's going to be tough. You could keep Vardy. I think Vardy's fixtures are not great, to be honest. Spurs could be okay. Sheffield United, though, they got O'Connell back. I think that's going to be tricky for Leicester, to be honest. They're also missing players. They're picking up injuries. Soyuncu suspended now. I don't think it's a great game for Leicester now, that Sheffield United game. Vardy will probably still get something. Like, if you absolutely can't do anything, like if there's no players you can get that you really want, don't try and force Vardy out of your team. Just keep him. I think Az's tweet about Jesus is directed at you. Is Az tweeting right now about Jesus? Let me see. What's he saying now? He's going to tell me he's rubbish. Oh, he's getting Jesus in. I got a reply to that. He doesn't deserve him. He does not deserve him. Who would have God, some people will say it's hindsight, but who would have thought the Man City striker would get points? Who would have thought the team that scored the most goals all season puts a striker in and he gets points? Who would have thought it? Strange one, especially with the awful fixtures they had. You got Jesus in 4 weeks ago and he got you 1-1-1 before you sold him for Vardy. Yeah, fair enough. That kind of sucks. He did have a knock. To be fair, he had a knock, didn't he, against Burnley? And maybe that's why he didn't start against Chelsea. I don't know. Sort out the audio. What's wrong with the audio? When you say sort it out, what? Do you want me to mute myself? Mute the music? Turn the music up? Turn the music down? Am I distorted? Am I too loud? Am I too quiet? Am I talking rubbish? Give me something to go on. Rotation is why we replaced Jesus. Beating Bournemouth is not important for Man City's season, and an injury in the game will be disastrous. Yeah, sure, he might miss the next game, but then he might play the next two. That's the thing with Man City. You get them. I'm sticking with them, honestly. I'm not getting rid of them. They've done so well. There's nothing to say it won't carry on. They'll miss some minutes. That's fine. Nathan, 16th overall rank. That is huge. Congratulations. I could only dream of being that high. By the way, just to put your minds at ease, Antonio will go up on the wall. How quickly? I don't know, but he will. He will go up. Oh, take out Vardy or Jimenez. That is a tough one. I mean, Jimenez didn't look great again today, to be honest. Burnley away, Chelsea away, Crystal Palace at home. I mean, Crystal Palace are shipping goals. Chelsea are shipping goals. So Jimenez doesn't have the worst fixtures. I would probably keep Vardy. I don't know, to be honest. I think let me bring up Leicester's fixtures just to remind myself exactly what they are. Sheffield United at home. Man United at home. That could be a top four clash. Spurs away. My initial instinct is to get rid of Jimenez ahead of Vardy, but I'm actually not convinced the difference will be that much between the two by the end of the season. Best triple captain options, who and when? Fernandes any day of the week, any game week. Why not? I'm sure he'll get some more points tomorrow, I hope. Crystal Palace away, he's not that bad. Otherwise, you try and nail it on a Man City player, don't you? Otherwise, Pulisic in game week 36. I think that's it, basically. Look, it's going to be a potential risk put on a Man City player, but could also be huge rewards. Jimenez is great, agreed. He hasn't been that great, though. Oh, he didn't have the volume up. I'm glad it's sorted. I hate when players do sick, e.g. Antonio, and then everyone gets that player. Yeah, it's always going to happen, though. It's always going to happen. But like I said earlier, though, it's not like Antonio's just a flash in the pan, really. He always kind of goes like this. Imagine Jesus gets injured. What would City do? The FA Cup and Champions League hope. The false nine option is out there. People keep telling me about the false nine and Jesus keeps starting. Look, Jesus will probably miss one of the next 3 games. Maybe 2, I don't know. What if? What if he starts 2 or 3 games and gets loads of points, you know? Like Pep has already said, injuries could happen, but he can't just not play his players. They need match rhythm. So he's going to have to keep playing them. But he can keep doing what he's doing. Go like 3 or 4 up and bring him off after like 55, 60 minutes. Job done. Martial's your captain tomorrow. That is excellent. I will say, by the way, one thing I found this week is just relief. Like, as soon as Antonio scored 4, I was like, well, that's a green arrow this week. It was just after the last few weeks. Like, going into tomorrow, getting to watch Man United without worrying about a bloody red or green arrow is just so good. Like, the arrow is green this week. It's just a case now of how big. And it's such a relief the way the games fell. It shouldn't be like that playing FPL, but sometimes it is. It's not even like happiness that you've done well. It's relief you haven't done bad. Effective ownership is like how well owned a player is plus their captaincy in a certain like rank position, usually top 10k. So like if someone's got like 150% effective ownership, then how many, the percentage of players that the percentage of managers that own them plus how many have captain is what adds that up. Jesus starts versus Bournemouth, surely, maybe, I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you. Like, he's only done, I think, did he do 90 minutes in the FA Cup? Otherwise, he did 90 minutes against Southampton, the one game he didn't bloody score. But before that, it's 45, 35. So 45 minutes against Burnley, he had a knock. 35 minutes against Chelsea, I don't know, whether he still had that knock, it was false 9 that Pep wanted to play. Either way, Man City didn't do very well in that game. Then Liverpool, 57 minutes, 90 minutes against Southampton when he should have scored, and then 60, 63. So it's not like he's been playing 90 minutes week in, week out. So the fact that he got brought off in the last game, I think there's a chance he starts, but who knows? I can't predict Pep any better or worse than you lot, really. Yeah, we could sit here for the next 2 hours trying to figure out who's going to play for City. We wouldn't get it right. Would I rather have Ings instead of Jimenez? I do, and I probably will. The other thing about Pulisic, by the way, just going back to that again for my personal team, is who the hell do I get rid of to get him in? I mean, I can't get rid of Fernandes or Martial, really. I wouldn't want to. And then De Bruyne or Mahrez, I'm then banking on one of them not playing. And I've got to keep Antonio. So I don't think I'm going to have Pulisic. And it is a bit worrying because he will be such a popular captain this week. But you figure, I can't really go wrong with Fernandes the way he's playing at the moment. Pep's going to want Jesus to score more goals. Yeah. Give you a differential captain to cut a 40-point deficit. I mean, any Man City player that's not Kevin De Bruyne, if you want to bet on the Man City player playing, I'm telling you, that's a huge differential. It doesn't matter which one you go for, they will not be heavily captained. So Man City, or Pulisic's probably not going to be over 100% effective ownership. But it depends whether your mini league person you're trying to get go against has him. Like David Silva captain, big punt. That's where I'd be looking though. Don't try and go too even like Martial. Someone could be against Crystal Palace. Arsenal assets are a trap. Last 2 games of the season are quite good. Aubameyang's okay. Rest of them probably not right now. Mahrez to Pulisic, hokey cokey. I mean, I've got the transfers to do it. I don't know about trapping myself into that transfer. I do think I'll probably just keep this defence for the rest of the season. So I do have transfers to play with. Like I could do Jimenez to Ings and Mahrez to Pulisic captain. And then switch it back next week, maybe. Could try that. But Mahrez is just as likely to start as any of the others. Who got 90 minutes? Sterling and Mahrez, right? So, I don't know. It's impossible. It's impossible. All right, let's see if we've got any other Man City less questions. Lundstrom back. I mean, Lundstrom's done, isn't he? He's not an option now. Leno is back. I don't think that's true, is it? Not heard that anywhere. You're on 77 points, 3 Man United players to go. 8 points each gets you to 100. Yeah, I've kind of hoped about getting to 100 this week, but I need 33 for it. But yeah, it's doable, especially if you've got one captain. Liverpool, yeah, would be differential captains this week. Oh my God, I'm yawning. I'm so sorry. Mahrez, people keep saying like, X-player for Man City is surely not playing next week, and then you'll see an X-player is surely playing this week. Like, you just don't know. Everton on the beach and a motivated Villa seems like a good match for Grealish. I mean, that is a punt. I don't think I'll go there. I know what you're saying, but I don't know. I wouldn't do that. I just think I feel like there's too many midfield options that still have low ownership to worry about getting someone like Grealish in personally. But that's just me. Calvert-Lewin's rubbish. Get rid of him, honestly. Yash, thanks very much for that. Son, keep going forward. Son played kind of more centrally today, didn't he? I didn't see most of the game. I saw a couple of highlights, but I think he played centrally, right? Oh my god, I got it really bad. I'm sorry. He played more centrally, so that could be decent, but I don't know. Again, I just feel like there's way more mids that I would want than Son. Like, what's their fixtures? Let me remind myself of the fixtures. If he's going to keep playing up front, then it's a different proposition. Like, people that sold that didn't go for Sterling or Antonio, it's a bit harsh. Newcastle away, Leicester at home, Crystal Palace away. They're not great fixtures. I mean, if you've got other transfers to make, maybe you could keep them for Newcastle, to be honest. The Maguire out option leaves you how much money for a defender? Loads. I've got 2.5 million in the bank, and Jimenez to Ings is Jimenez to Greenwood. Sorry, is like a huge saving. Basically, I can get any defender up to 10.8 million, like huge amount of money. I could get Sterling in this week, but he played 90 minutes. He played 90 minutes. Is he going to do that again? It's like, did I miss the boat on that? Like, even if I got Greenwood in for Jimenez and Sterling in for Mahrez, I still have 7.6 million to spend on a defender for Maguire. Triple captain Greenwood. I mean, you could do. Like, any Man United players looks pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if Rashford outscores Greenwood the next couple of games. Not for any reason other than Greenwood's in a nice bit of hot streak, and Rashford's been a bit unlucky. It's strange having so much money and not knowing how to spend it. I'm just not worrying about how much money's in the bank, honestly. Just making the transfers, worry about the money if and when you need it. Lucas Digne in for Saiss. You already have Doherty. Honestly, I've thought about it myself. The thing is with Wolves, they've got 3... I mean, Chelsea away is pretty tough, I guess. But Burnley away and Crystal Palace at home, I feel like potentially they are clean sheets. I don't know. It's just, are Everton good enough? They got a centre back injury. Did Mina get injured as well today? I don't know if Holgate's back or when he's going to be back. So that's a problem. And midfield, they got like no midfielders. Like Sigurdsson just looks so bad at the moment. Not really playing where he wants to play either. I've really gone off Everton after this week. Am I playing Scottish fantasy football? No. Nope. Upgrading Nketiah to Deeney. Yeah, but then who do I bench? That's the problem. Like, I can do Nketiah and Jimenez to like Ings. I could take a hit and do Maguire, Jimenez, and Nketiah to Ings, Greenwood, and a defender. But what attacker do I bench every week? I'm not interested in Deeney, by the way. not interested in Deeney at all. No, I to be honest, I don't really. I know some people just play every fantasy game going. They just really like fantasy games, football or otherwise. But for me, I prefer playing for something I'm going to watch. Like, I don't watch Scottish football, so I wouldn't play it, basically. Remember the Keane punt that you took last season? Was that Michael Keane? Digne did really well. What an idiot I was. Yeah, Pickford's bad as well, isn't he? You want a Maguire goal? I tell you what, right? You know there was that person on the stream last week that said I was making bad decisions for content. The amount of messages I had when Antonio scored just shows you people prefer it when things go well. Like, I got so many like good wishes for that, and I'm sure there'll be loads more out on the stream comments later. So yeah, like, making good decisions is so much better. I'm telling you. And my mentions on Twitter when if Maguire scores will be ridiculous. What's my realistic finish now for the season? I mean, it's changed now, hasn't it? I mean, I probably almost have been happy with this rank before this game week. I mean, I don't know how much I can really go up tomorrow. Obviously, I own Fernandes, so anything's going to be huge tomorrow. If Ings doesn't get anything and Man United win to 0, which is a pretty big ask, I think, because Southampton have been one of the better teams since the restart. But if they could win to 0 and Fernandes got like a double-digit haul, like 10 points into 20, I don't know. Let me see how far away I am from certain ranks. I'm only 31 points away from 100k. Now, loads of people are going to have Man United players, but let's say Fernandes gets a couple of returns, and so does Martial tomorrow, and Maguire gets a clean sheet. I could be top 100k by the end of this week. So it's only 31 points. Top 50k, 62 points. Now, to make that up in 3 weeks is difficult, but let's see what the points are tomorrow. I really need Man United to do well against Southampton, and top 100k could be on. Man United versus Saints 0-0. That would be a nightmare. That would still be like, what, 6, 9, 12? 15 points. Don't forget to factor in the free hit teams you'll be up against. Yeah, of course, but I don't. Yeah, but the thing with free hit is, and like it was shown again, if people free hit this week, they would have gone probably for Leicester players, and Leicester just conceded 4 to Bournemouth. So free hits are all well and good, but it's pretty difficult to nail. So I'm honestly not that bothered that I don't have the free hit and people do. Good luck to them trying to go super different and nailing every single player. The way this week has gone, I wouldn't put it past Maguire to score. Like, everything has gone right. So Maguire to score, Fernandes get a brace, and Martial to chip in with a nice solid 8-pointer. Top 100k could be close to it by the end of this week. I doubt it though. It just shows how many active managers there are and how close the points are together. But yeah, top 10k, 119 points away. You never know. You never know. But we'll have to wait and see. Hello, FPL Fan Show. Go and follow them on YouTube. They are doing a fan show. Basically, FPL Fan Show is showing off with their... Not really, were they? That's a joke. I know both the lads. With their great filmmaking skills that just make my stuff look awful. So go and watch them. Just search FPL Fan Show on Twitter. Ings and Jesus in for Vardy and Calvert-Lewin for -4. Love it. Love it. Could backfire, but over the rest of the season, I think it'll work well. Liam, thanks very much. 9 points this week with Bruno. You've got... What? Are you saying that Bruno, Rashford and Greenwood are going to get 9 points? Are you saying you've only got 9 points? Maguire doesn't score to the final game. I might bring him in for the Leicester game. Scoring against his former teammates. I didn't think of that narrative. Imagine that. If you've only got 9 points, that is harsh. Like, it's very hard to be in and around other FPL people when you scored so bad. I know. What additional points would you expect a free hit to give in Gameweek 36? I mean, think about it. Like, I've got 3 Man United players up against Crystal Palace and 3 against Man City. You could say I don't have the ideal. You could say I don't have the ideal 3 Man City, but that's already 6 players. I think are more than good enough for next Gameweek 36. And I could have Danny Ings and Antonio, who I both think are good options. So then I've got 8 players I'm more than happy with. So how much is the free hit worth? Maybe not that much. I don't know. If you nail a lot of punts, then it looks great, but you got to nail them. Why is McNeil an FPL legend? Because I bench boosted in a single game week this season, and he got 14 points for me on my bench boost, and I also got 3 clean sheets. So got like 18 points, 32 points, something like that in a single game week before lockdown. Maguire, maybe Maguire's only scored 1 goal this season. Although I've got to be honest, the corners have been pretty poor recently, apart from the one to Pogba. Yeah, can he get one soon? I don't know. I hope so. It'd be nice. He's only scored 1 goal for the whole season. Come on, he's surely due 3, right? Yeah, no, triple Chelsea is good. But look, Chelsea is so bad defensive. Like, triple Chelsea, are you going to go 3 attackers? If you go 3 attackers, you've got to have 3 defenders at least as well. So that's already 6 players. So you can only have then a maximum of 5 Man City, Man United players. And if you're not going triple Chelsea attack, then you're going for a defender. And who wouldn't put it past Norwich scoring against Chelsea? So triple Chelsea is great. Not saying it's not, but I don't think it's the end of the world for me, to be honest. Maybe I'll be wrong. You got 9 points and you brought in Soyuncu. Oh man, that is harsh. That is harsh. That's kind of like when it rains, it pours. Yeah, Soyuncu, like 4 goals and a red card. That's just one of those weeks. I'd say now, best thing to do after a week like that is shut down FPL stuff. Just wait till Tuesday. Just sleep on it for a couple of nights. Wait till Tuesday. Figure out your team then. It will seem a lot better than it does right now. If Solanke can score a brace, Maguire can score a hat-trick. Exactly. Come on, keep that faith. All right, last few. Oh, quick shout-out, by the way. All the Patreon supporters, thanks very much. All the producers on the screen right now. If you want to check that out, link is in the description below. Thanks to everyone that's kind of signed up through that and through the YouTube membership. There'll be more to come next season. I think they're also changing Patreon, by the way, to show you in your own currency. So, might be some weird numbers, but might look a little bit better. So thanks very much to everyone that's signed up. Look, my camera is a little bit different sized. A bit bigger, a bit smaller. There we go. I should do better at that, really. Would I bring in Rashford or Jesus for the rest of the season? Do I think Jesus is a better option than Rashford for the rest of the season? I'm not sure I do, but Man City is scoring so many goals. When I take Vardy out, I'm going to say yes, because I said before that if I got Vardy in, it would be one for 1 week. Who do I prefer? I'd probably rather go... Jesus is such a good differential. Like, he really is. But Rashford's going to play every single week, guaranteed. That's tough. That's tough. I want to have faith in Jesus, but I probably would go towards Rashford just about. Maybe flick a coin. Am I doing any cardio or just weights? Nah, I'm doing cardio too a little bit. Ansu or Antonio, which made you celebrate more? Antonio by a mile. He scored 4 goals. Absolutely insane, honestly. We should have Holgate back, Ancelotti said. Okay, fair enough. That would help a little bit. I have heard of Nathan Bacon, yeah, I've watched some of his videos. He's funny, yeah. You're right. You's right. Bring in Trent in the free hit for that. Nah, if you're free hitting this week, you're not getting Trent, oh yeah. I'd say if you're free hitting this week, you'd have a lot of money in the bank. All right, last few questions, then we'll call it there. If you haven't already, make sure to give the stream a like. Will be much appreciated before we kind of head off and stuff. And subscribe if you're new around here. There'll be plenty more streams, plenty more videos coming before the end of the week. Before the end of the season, I should say. Let's see. Rashford not unlucky, other Man United options better. I don't know if I fully agree. I think Rashford been a bit unlucky not to get more points, to be honest. Squad rotation for City this week. Yeah, sure. Like every week. You have Foden triple captain. Good luck. That is a ballsy decision. Is Calvert-Lewin and Maguire to Greenwood and Aurier a good hit to make? I mean, getting rid of Calvert-Lewin's a good move. Like, if you haven't got enough money to go up to someone like Jesus or someone like that, then yeah, maybe do that. I personally haven't done the Maguire to Greenwood hit. Yeah, I could do it for free this week, but I don't know if I will. Like, I mean, is Greenwood a better option than Ings for the rest of the season, for example? I'm not sure he massively is, to be honest. And for my team, I mean. How many points would I have if you captain Antonio? An extra 26. No, not an extra. Yeah, an extra 26 as it stands, minus whatever Fernandes will get tomorrow. Should you captain Jesus or Pulisic? I'd probably side towards Pulisic if he's going to start. Everyone's going to be clamouring for that Chelsea team news. Right, I'm going to leave it there. It's 10 o'clock. We are done. I will have team selection tomorrow. I will have game week preview early Tuesday morning. I will have no sleep. I will probably do a stream on Thursday and then some other stuff next week. I don't know. So many game weeks, so little time. Basically, we'll have some time. Yeah. We'll have some stuff, not time. I won't have any time, but I'll have some stuff. That's the best way around. Yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to give the video a like. Thanks for all the super chats. Much appreciated. Like the stream, subscribe to the stream. Check out Patreon links below. Go and follow me on Instagram. I'm using that a lot more now. Doing story updates and everything. I'm like a proper Instagrammer. Is that what they call them? I don't know. I'm sold. I'll spam my Instagram in the chat. Big shout out to Marco, who's definitely going to get Antonio on the wall sooner rather than later. I know that's going to be his number one priority in life before the next stream, I'm sure. There we go, Antonio's shirt, please, Marco. Live stream for the Chelsea lineup. Yes, actually, there probably will be a deadline stream this week. You're in luck. There will be a deadline stream, I think, given how things are looking. So, yeah, look forward to that. And good luck with all your decisions. I will...